Hey, what's up everybody, welcome to another Active Directory pen testing video. In this video, we will cover an interesting topic, that is ASREProasting attack. If you are doing an Active Directory pen testing, this video is for you. So please watch carefully the complete video without skipping it. Before going to ASREProasting attack, we have to understand the main reason behind this attack. Let's take a look at a diagram and understand some theoretical part of this. Here you can see the main component KDC, the key distribution center. It's an important component in Active Directory environment, and this KDC consists of three main components, that is authentication server, second is ticket granting server, third is database. Nowadays in Active Directory environment, the main authentication protocol is used is the Kerberos authentication protocol. Let's understand the brief overview of this Kerberos authentication protocol. First, the client requests a ticket to the KDC with his own username, and KDC check his username in his database and respond back with a TGT ticket. The TGT full form is ticket granting ticket. And again client requests a service ticket to the KDC with the help of previous TGT. After that, KDC validates that TGT and respond back with a service ticket. After that, receiving that service ticket, client can easily access any kind of resource or like services. Now there is one technique or method step in this process named Kerberos pre-authentication. This Kerberos pre-authentication provides an extra layer of security in this authentication protocol. Let's understand how this Kerberos pre-authentication works. In first step, when client requests a ticket to the KDC with his name and KDC check his name in his database, after that KDC also check that this user account has pre-authentication required or not. If pre-authentication is not required, then the steps are follows as same as previous. But if Kerberos pre-authentication is required, then KDC sends an error message to the client with the message, your pre-auth is needed. Means your Kerberos pre-authentication is needed. After that, client sends a encrypted data with a timestamp that is encrypted by the user's password derived key, that is also known as NTLM hash, to the KDC. Then KDC decrypt the timestamp with the NTLM hash that is also stored in the KDC database. After the decrypting, KDC checks the timestamp and validates the timestamp. If the timestamp is validated and within the allowed time range, and KDC respond back with the TGT ticket. Now this is the main pre-authentication part, or this is the main theoretical part about Kerberos pre-authentication. In this way, this Kerberos pre-authentication provides an extra layer of security to the Active Directory environment, or this Kerberos authentication protocol. Now let's understand one thing. In some case, some software or some services doesn't support this Kerberos pre-authentication. Then might be we can get some users which has no Kerberos pre-authentication enabled. This is the main reason behind this ASREProasting attack, because if any users has Kerberos pre-authentication is not set, then anyone or any attacker can request a TGT ticket to the KDC on behalf of that user account which has no Kerberos pre-authentication enabled. And normally KDC responds with the TGT to the attacker. An attacker can easily capture the ticket granting ticket, or we can say that encrypted ASREP hash. After getting that encrypted ASREP hash, attacker can easily crack this hash using some password cracking tool like John the Ripper or Hashcat. Now this is the main reason behind this ASREProasting attack. Now let's understand another thing. We have two scenarios to perform this attack. Scenario 1, where I have an initial access of any domain user, and second is we don't have any initial access of any domain user. In scenario 1, we are directly query to the domain controller that find the user accounts which has no Kerberos pre-authentication set. After that, we can easily retrieve the ticket granting ticket, or we can say encrypted ASREP hash. And in scenario 2, we are doing some brute forcing or guessing and asking to the domain controller that which user account is vulnerable for this attack. Now we are doing these two scenarios in this lab one by one. Let's complete the first scenario. As I say, in scenario 1, I have an initial access of a domain user, and this is the user account. Now let's open a PowerShell with the highest administrative privilege. To To perform this attack, here I am using two important tools. One is PowerView and second is rubies.exe. PowerView tool directly query to the domain controller to find the vulnerable accounts, and rubies.exe directly capture that encrypted ASREP hash. Now go to a temp file. Let's download this tool using invoke web request. You can easily get this tool in internet. And the second tool is rubies.exe. And we have successfully downloaded these two tools. Now let's import this PowerView module using import module. Now we are directly query to the domain controller to find the vulnerable account using get domain user, which has no pre-auth required. Let's do in verbose mode, and we can see that we have three users, that is Franklin, second is that is Franklin, and second is Carlos. Now using the Rubies tool, let's capture the encrypted ASREP hash or TGD ticket using ASREProast. And done. We have successfully captured the encrypted ASREP hash or TGD ticket. Let's zoom out this. And this is the two hashes of Franklin and Carlos users. Now we can directly crack this hash using Hashcat or John the Ripper tool, but before cracking, let's check the second scenario. I am using Kali machine for performing the second scenario. Here I am using most important toolkit, that is Impacket, and within that I am using get np user tool. Let's brute force some username to find out the vulnerable accounts. Here in my case, the domain name is bytedefender.com. The domain controller IP is 10.10.10.15 and request the ticket granting ticket, and the user file is names.txt. You can get this user list easily from the sec list. Now let's enter. And you can see the Franklin user and the Carlos user. Now crack these passwords using Hashcat tool or John the Ripper tool. Here I am using Hashcat tool. First, shape one of the hash in hash.txt file. Let's take an example of Franklin user. And save it in a file. Save it. Now crack this using hashcat. And the word list is rockyu.txt. And the hash file. I think we don't have to provide the word list argument. We can directly assign that. Yes. Let's wait few minutes to crack the passwords. And then we have cracked successfully the encrypted ASREP hash, and the password is frankie@123. In this way, I am doing my Active Directory pen testing, and you can also. So in some cases, you got an initial access of any user account, or either you have to do some brute force or guessing of username by querying to the domain controller. That's it for this video. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe.